Hi guys, this is Shahadat, and today I'm going to demonstrate to you once again that if you ask a question to Jaggi Vasudevji, you don't get the answer and you get lots of absolutely, or in my mind, completely confusing information, confusing definitions of words, and at the end you feel like your answer is clear as mud. So to demonstrate that, I'm going to use this particular video today. Let me do this full screen, then you can see the name of the video. It says Sadhguru's brilliant answer on why meditation doesn't work for many people. And the channel that uploaded this video is called Mystics of India. So let's listen to the question, and then, I mean, this is not exactly what the gentleman was asking, but it's a similar kind of meaning, so I shouldn't really make a fuss about that. But let's look at the question, and then let's listen to the answer and see if we can actually make any sense out of it, or does it sound like some mumbo jumbo? So let's start.
Question. You talked about working on yourself, and meditation comes into it, yet I've seen plenty of meditators that don't seem to act that well. So can you talk about that a bit?
Yeah. I'm not in any way identified with any political nation on the planet, but when I use the names of countries, don't think it's from some prejudice. When anything comes to America, it takes on a different form. It just amuses me what forms it takes. Because the yoga, for example, what forms it's taken is well, yesterday somebody sent me a WhatsApp message about how they're propagating beer yoga. Okay? So yogis who have drinking problem and drinkers who have yogic problem, they do beer yoga. Okay.
At this point, let me make it a little bit clear. I guess people who are not from the Indian subcontinent, you may not understand the word yoga. Yoga is a kind of exercise that you can do to increase your focus on things, so that you can actually think much more clearly. You can actually focus on one topic and then think about it, which is the same kind of, the English word for that is actually very similar. Meditation generally indicates the idea of actually thinking deeply about something. So if you are thinking deeply about trees, then you are trying to understand how the trees work, how the trees grow, and the rest of it. So you are meditating on the life of a tree. So that's the kind of example. But okay, the question was why meditation doesn't work, and Sadhguru started with the idea of why yoga has got a completely different meaning in the USA, in the US, and I think he's bringing this up just to indicate that yoga and meditation, they are like related concepts, or probably the same concept, just two different words used to describe the same concept in two different language. But again, yoga has got a few other meanings. So we have just used one meaning, which is about focusing on a particular thing, the practice of focusing on a particular thing. Yoga has other exercises that are targeted for some other things as well. So yoga conceptually, so I mean, probably the word can be used in differently, or the same word can be used in two different situations. When you are trying to focus on something, trying to really study something and understand it, that is a kind of yoga. And then you doing a set of stretching or twisting, and the rest of a few other breathing exercise, to be in a state where you are comfortable, you have less stress. That is also called Yoga. Okay, so but let's see how Sadhguru defines it.
Like this, that many. So we need to understand this. This is not, when you say meditation, when you say yoga, this is not an Indian thing or an Eastern thing as it is being understood. This is paying attention to the inner nature of who you are.
So yoga is paying attention to your inner nature, so understand who you are. None of the languages actually define yoga in that sense, especially when, because in this particular case, meditation is the word that we are trying to understand. So in English language, meditation doesn't mean trying to understand yourself. You can focus on yourself and use meditation to understand yourself more, but it can be other things as well. So it's not limited to only yourself only. But let's see what Sadhguru says next.
All right. Fortunately, the fundamentals of being human, these same fundamentals, it doesn't matter which continent you have come from. Though for a long time people have been prejudiced against one against the other, but fundamentally these creatures are made the same way. This entire species is made the same way, okay?
That's an interesting thing. I don't really understand what's the relationship of all human beings behaving the same way with this concept of yoga or meditation. But anyway, he said it. Let's skip and let's move forward.
On the surface, maybe I'm made of chocolate and you are white chocolate, whatever. Okay.
Okay.
That's different. So we need to understand this. For example, you use the word meditation. You must understand this. These words are being thrown around. The word meditation in English doesn't really mean anything.
No, it does. There is a definition of in the dictionary that gives a definition of the word meditation. So in English language, there is a meaning of this word meditation. Okay.
Specific. It's too general. If somebody sits with their eyes closed, you will say they're meditating. You know with your eyes closed how many things you can do.
No. If somebody has got their eyes closed, we will probably say they have got their eyes closed. Doesn't mean they're in meditation. Meditation is, people can meditate even when their eyes are open. So it doesn't have to be closed eyed. Okay.
Yes or no? So in the yogic parlance, you can do japa, tapa, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, you can fantasize about something, or you can just master the art of sleeping in vertical postures. You don't know what you're doing. So what specific aspects are not there? General, because it's a fashion. It is not an endeavor. It is more a fashion. It's an in thing.
So that means, what is a fashion? Meditation. Meditation is a fashion. Okay.
You will see people are walking with yoga mat.
Okay.
In New York City. You ask them what, they say, today is my yoga day.
Okay.
Yesterday was my cycling day. Tomorrow is my swimming day. This is not like that. The word yoga means union. Union means, in some way, you learn to obliterate the boundaries of your individuality.
Yeah, where is that meaning coming from? Yoga means union. I'm not an expert in Sanskrit language, to be honest, but union, yoga, okay. So nothing to do with paying attention, really, I guess. But let's see what comes next.
Because your individual existence is a fake existence.
Fake existence? No. Oh, it's a genuine existence. If I pinch myself, I can feel it. There is nothing fake about it.
If you don't understand what I'm saying, close your mouth, hold your nose like this for 2 minutes. You will understand, without the larger atmosphere supporting you, you can't exist for a moment.
Yeah, but that means I'm a dependent being. I depend on the world. I depend on the things around me. Doesn't mean I'm fake existence. My existence is real. What is he talking about?
Yes? What you exhale, the trees are inhaling. What the trees exhale, you are inhaling every moment of your life. But this is not there in your experience. Actually, one half of your breathing apparatus are hanging out there.
Whoa. So the experience that I have about breathing, this is not the complete experience. I need to also experience how the plants take this carbon dioxide and then change that to oxygen. But how do I do that? I'm not a plant. So how do I experience that? I can understand that we are closely linked. We are related quite strongly. We have dependency on each other. But okay.
If you experience this, do I have to tell you, don't cut the tree? Do I have to tell you something else like this, to plant the tree? It would be necessary. If you really experience one half of my lungs is hanging out there, you wouldn't call a tree a wood, is it?
I will not call a tree a wood. Why not? I mean, it depends on what you mean by wood. Yeah, a living tree is not really like dry wood that I use to make furniture, but I can use that to make furniture. But when I'm referring to a tree as wood, I use that word because that has got a meaning in English language. I'm too thick for this, I guess.
If I call you flesh, is it an insult or no?
No.
So calling a living tree
I'm flesh as well.
This happened to me, when I was doing literature. We were always studying English poetry, and we were introduced to American poetry. So the first day this lady teacher comes and she says, I'm introducing Robert Frost to you, and he's a great poet, and this. She says so many things. And then she starts off, woods are lovely, dark and deep. I said, stop. I was only 19. I said, stop. She said, why? I said, a man who calls a tree a wood, I'm not going to listen to that guy. She said, no, this is a great poet. I said, I don't care how great he is. A man who calls tree a wood, I'm not going to listen to that guy. I didn't let her teach.
I mean, I'm baffled because is that an example to show how genius I am? To me, the example shows how idiot I was when I was 19. At the least, it shows that I didn't know what the meaning of that word and how a poet of that language, how eloquently that poet used the word. Woods means a forest, a place where there are lots of plants, trees, of different sorts, probably not organized in any particular way by human beings, and that'll be called woods. And for a forest is a place where sometimes human beings go and take shelter to get away from a busy urban life, and that seems to give them the feeling of tranquility. So, and a poet, a famous poet of English language, an American poet, he used the word woods, which means not one tree, it's a place with lots of trees. He calls it woods, and that's why I don't want to even learn about his poetry. This is utter stupid dumbness. Dumbness. It should be dumb. Blimey. Okay, let's see what else we have got to learn today.
Because this has gotten into our minds. We have not experienced life. We have concluded about everything.
How does that mean we have concluded about everything? Where is it coming from? It's English language. Woods means woods. It doesn't mean dry wood you use to make furniture. Okay.
Made conclusions about everything.
What
we
conclusion?
Have not experienced it. If you sat here and experienced life, very well you would know what the trees exhale you're inhaling every moment. You can do without any relationship in your life. This one relationship you can't break. Yes or no? We have not brought human beings to experience. Meditation means this, yoga means this, to bring people to a living experience of life. It's not just the trees and the atmosphere. As you sit here, every subatomic particle is in communication with the rest of the universe.
Don't know what to say. Meditation is to experience everything. Has anybody ever done that? Experience everything? I mean, yeah, I mean, if I bang my head with a tree, I will experience that the tree is there, but I don't, and I'll experience that it hurts to bang your head against a tree, but I don't know exactly how the tree is going to experience that, how it is going to react. I mean,
You can't exist here for a moment. Okay. This entire fake idea of who you are has to go. That's meditation. So anyway.
So the whole idea of who you are has to go. And that is meditation. Okay.
Technically, what is meditation?
Technically, okay.
Meditation is a consequence. But because these societies have become so goal-oriented, they want the mango, they don't want the tree.
Meditation is a consequence. Not from the meaning of the word. Meditation, as I understand from meditation, is a process of getting to a meditative state. Meditation is the process of really deeply thinking about something. Can be internal, can be external. No? Technically it's a goal. Mango?
If you want flowers in your garden,
yeah,
you don't have to do flower meditation. You don't even have to think flower. You have to think soil, manure, water, sunlight. None of them look like flowers. But if you take care of that, flower is a consequence. So meditation is a consequence.
No, you got it wrong, because when I do gardening, if I want a particular flower in the garden, first I think about that flower, and for some reason I think that that's a nice flower. I want to have it in my garden. So once I have that idea, I don't do any flower meditation. What I do is I go and buy a plant of that flower. At the moment, I mean, when it's a tiny little plant, it doesn't look anything like the flower. And there is nothing to tell me that this tree will become, it'll grow, and at one day it'll give flowers. But yeah, I still get that because the way we define things, the way this is based on experience of our previous generations. We know that this plant will give these flowers, right? So based on that, I get that little plant and I put it in my garden. I give the manure and the fertilizers and the water. I keep on watering it every day, or at least once a couple of days, and the looking after process keeps on going. And finally, when it goes to its full size, when it's right time for the plant to give flower, it gives flower. So at no point I actually meditate about the flower, but it's not, at the same time, it's not like I don't think about the flower. I mean, the first thing I think about is the flower. That's why I get this plant. Otherwise I would have gotten another different kind of plant. So I don't have to even think about the flowers to get flower in my garden.
But people want the consequence, not the process. If you cultivate your body, your mind, your emotion and your energies to a certain level of maturity, you will become meditative. That will be your quality, that will be the fragrance that you will carry with you. But now you want the fragrance, you don't want the process. What will you do? You will buy some French perfume.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that was very clear. I think finally I got it. The meditation thing is a fragrance. So I don't know which store you can buy it from, but if you, for some reason, I guess what he's trying to say is the French fragrances, they are not as good as the meditation fragrance, because if you have the meditation fragrance, well, the claim is at least it will smell better. So meditation is basically a protection against your bad odor that comes from sweat, from your underarms, armpit, those sort of things. Yeah, I guess that makes some sort of sense. Well, looking at all these people, they seem to have understood it. I don't want to look like an idiot and say I haven't understood what he meant. Yeah, I think. My goodness, it's driving me nuts. I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, take care, guys. Bye bye.